Hey guys, welcome to DSA-n-Design. So far in the series, we have learned about singly linked list. We have looked at how to create a singly linked list, how to add a node, how to delete a node, and how to basically perform various other operations, right, in the linked list, right? And that too basically on the singly linked list, right? And we have understood that singly linked is the linked list in which each of this node is actually having single pointer which will actually be helpful to traverse in the forward direction, right? But in doubly linked list, so for example, let's say I have a singly linked list, for example, something like this. Let's say I have three nodes here, for example here, right? And in this case, uh, I have I have basically the next pointer which is actually pointing, which is taking me to the forward direction. So N1 node, N2 node, and N3 node, right? For example, I am actually at this node, right? I can only go in the forward direction. I cannot go back in the singly linked list, right? I cannot go in the backward direction. However, in doubly linked list, we have two pointers basically pointing, one in the forward direction and other one actually pointing in the backward direction. So something like this basically. That's why it is called doubly linked list, right? For example, this is my head and N1, N2, N3. All right. And again, this is also my head. Now, for example, I am at this location. I can actually traverse in this direction and I can also traverse in this direction also, right? So this is the advantage of doubly linked list, and doubly linked list will actually help you to reduce lot of complicated operations, right? And it will be kind of you will be later realizing that there are a lot of operation which you can perform in the time complexity of order of one basically, right? But in case of singly linked list, we most of the time we actually go for the time complexity of order of n, because you end up actually traversing all the nodes, right? So we will look at all those things, but hope you got the idea, right? What is basically doubly linked list, right? So let's try to understand basically how it works, right? So if I have how we basically we can point. So what are the elements that we need to have in doubly linked list? First of all, so we need to have a data, right? Which should be the value of that particular node, and then we should have a previous node, and this another should be the next node, right? So in singly linked list, what we had basically in singly linked list, we had data and we had next node. They are the two attributes we had, right? But here we have three attributes. Another attribute is basically previous, which will actually help you to go backward also, right? Travel backward, right? So let's try to understand basically in one example, right? And then we will see how basically we can traverse, right? Now, all right. So let's try to understand basically. So I will actually create a doubly linked list, okay? Which I will have maybe a couple of nodes here. One, two, three. Okay, let's take three nodes only, right? This is forward direction, this is backward pointer, this is forward pointer, backward pointer. For example, let's say this is actually at 1K location, this is 2K location, and this is at the 3K address. So these are the address of each of these nodes, right? Now, and this is also head node basically. Okay, head node. In doubly linked list, we also can actually provide the tail node here, right? So tail node, with the tail node, we can actually go backward, right? If I want to actually traverse backward from 3K to 2K, I can actually do that using the tail node, right? Let's see how we do. Now, let's say, for example, I have data, right? Data, let's say 10, value is 10, right? And then previous will be there, one pointer, and the next pointer will also be there. So next pointer will be what, guys? It's 2K, right? Because I am actually pointing to this. But what is previous to this? It's basically null, right? Because there is no previous node before this particular node, right? In this case, let's say I have data equal to 20, and here we have previous and we have next as well, right? So what is previous, guys? Previous to this particular node is basically 1K, isn't it? This is the node which is address at address 1K, and the next of this 2K, I mean this particular node, is basically what, guys? It's 3K. Agree? Now similarly for this as well, what should be, let's say 30 is the data basically, and now previous and we have next. What should be my previous? Previous should be basically this particular node, right? This is what it is. So it is basically 2k. And what is next, guys? Is there any next to this particular pointer? This is last node. I mean this node. There is no next, right? So this will be null, right? This is what exactly is a doubly linked list, right? Now we will try to understand how to create a doubly linked list, right? And then how to traverse also. So what we will look at it here is basically we can actually try to understand how to traverse in the forward direction. So what we will do is traverse in forward direction, okay, and traverse in the backward direction, in backward direction, right? So to forward direction, what I can use it, actually I can use the next pointer, right? With the next pointer, I can just say next, 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 and I will reach here. Similar way, how we actually did in the singly linked list, right? But in the backward direction, when I have to come back, I actually have to start with the tail and I have to come back here, right? So let's try to do that. How basically we can, do that, okay? Little bit here, and then I'll show you the code. Actually I have already coded it so that video will be smaller little bit. So let's try to understand this actually what we have. So this is the same concept how we have used in singly linked list as well for traversal. So what I can do, I can actually, okay, at the same time I can actually create, okay, I don't want to, maybe I simply want to traverse, right? So public static print linked list in forward direction, something like that, some function name, guys. Okay, okay, now I have, let's say, okay, I'll keep it like this. All right, now I will actually supply forward direction. What I will supply, I'll supply head node actually. Okay, supply the head node. Now what I will do, in this case I will just say temp equal to head. Fine. Sorry, not node, it's basically head. Same way, I can just say while temp is not null. No, and until temp is null, not null, I will continue to travel, right? And here I will say soap like system output. I will say just maybe I can just say temp dot data, right? Temp dot data, and I can just traverse one next pointer after printing this, right? Simple, simple, right? I actually started from head node, which is actually I'm starting at the head node here, right? If I can just show you here. So I started at the head node here, right? My temp was here initially. Then I checked my temp is basically my temp is not null. Then I printed the value here, right? So here, so temp dot data, I printed 10 basically. Let's say 10 here. I printed 10. Then I moved here, my temp actually here now, and then I again check whether this particular node is null. It is not null. So then I actually again I will go and I'll print 20 and I'll move to temp here. Correct. Now again I'll check whether this node is having not null value. No, it is not. Then I will print actually 30. I mean that's what we are doing, right? So printing actually temp dot data, which is 30. Right. Now in this case I will move to the next and temp will be actually now pointing to null, because I moved outside this particular node, right, linked list. Now in this case I check my condition is false because temp is actually null. It is not null. That case is actually false, which means temp is null. Then I will not go inside actually, and I'll come out of it, and I will just so I end up printing 10, 20, 30, right? This is the forward direction, right? Now can we just try to see how actually we can print in the backward direction, right? So let's me try to write this function as well. Same function, guys. I am not going to write so many things. Now what I will do is I'll simply say static print in backward direction. Okay. Now here I will take actually tail. Okay. Because I have to print in the backward direction. So I'll actually print this node, then this node, and then this node. Right? Value of this node. Right? So what I will do is I will say temp. My temp node is what, guys? I am saying temp node equal to tail. So I am actually at here. My temp. So I'll take different color for this. Okay. That will make more sense actually. Okay. So now, for example, I'll say temp1 for this. Okay. So this is my temp1. Okay. Temp1 is here. Now what I will do, I'll say file temp1 equal to not equal to null until temp1 is not null. I will just do the same stuff, right? Print temp1 dot data, and how I will move? I'll say temp equal to temp1. I mean temp1 equal to, I'll move temp1 dot previous, isn't it? One second, I don't know what is happening. Something. All right, let's see if this works, right? So temp1 dot next. Sorry, not next. Previous. No, guys, it is previous, right? This is what exactly. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, now fine. So what I will say is temp1 dot previous means actually I'm here. No, I want to go to previous node, so I'll use this particular node, basically pointer, right? So I'll say temp dot so after printing. So for example, let's try to understand now. Okay, I'm here. What I will do, I will actually check whether my temp1, it is temp1, right? My temp1 is basically my temp1 is where null or not. It is not null actually. So I'll come inside the loop. I'll print temp1 dot data. So I will end up just to show you, guys. Okay, let me actually, okay, no, I don't know, I think it's not working, but let me just print it here basically. No, so here only I'll do. Okay, so I checked my temp1 is not null, which means I'll actually print, I'll come inside, I'll print temp1 dot data, which is 30 first. And then what I will do, I will actually move my pointer to backward, like temp dot previous. So temp dot previous of this is what, guys? It's basically 2k. So my temp is here now. Temp1 is here. Okay. Now I will again check whether my node is null. It is not null. Then if it's not null, then I'll come inside. I will print again temp1 dot data, which is basically 20 here. Now next step is basically temp1 equal to temp1 dot previous, which means temp1 will be here basically now in this case, temp1, right? And now again check whether this node is null or not. It is not null. Again I will come inside, I will actually print the value, which is 10 basically here, data, right? And now this time my temp1, you see, temp1 I'm moving outside, which is actually temp1 is null this time because all the nodes are done. If I move one more, I mean it is null, no? You see that? Temp1 dot previous equal to null. So actually I am pointing to null. Now this condition is false. Temp1 is not null. This condition is false. It's basically temp1 is null. Then I'll not come inside. I'll just come out of it. And by the time I will come out of it, I already printed 20, 30, sorry, 30, 20, and 10. Right? This is basically printing in the reverse direction. Right? Hopefully this is making sense to you. And I'll show you quickly the code that I have written, guys. Okay? So if I can show you here, I went to doubly linked list. I've created this fresh one. So now for the node definition, right? Node definition, what I have done is I have taken data and two different pointer, which is node type, previous and next, right? And in my constructor, I'm just actually setting the node equal, data equal to data, right? Whatever data I'm passing, that is the value basically, right? Simple. It's the same like singly linked list. In singly linked list, we did not have the previous, but other things are fine, right? In this case, when I'm creating a node, basically I am setting up the data and previous and next will be basically null by default, right? Now let's go here. What I have done is I have created couple of nodes. So let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All the nodes independently I created first of all. Now what I'm saying is uh, I'm saying head equal to n1. I'm actually pointing the head to node 1 and tail equal to node 5. So this node. So this is going to be tail basically, right? Tail node, and this is going to be head node. This is going to be head node, right? And this is basically tail node. Agree? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the n1 to n2. You see here, right? N1 ka previous, since N1 is the very first node, there is no previous to this. So I have just sent n1 dot previous equal to null, just for the representation purpose, guys. Otherwise, anyways, when I create new node, previous and next are always default, by default null only. But just to show you that, okay, I'm just making this connection. So I said n1 dot prev equal to previous node equal to null, and n1 dot next equal to n2, which is right. Now n2 का previous is n1 and n2 का next is n3, right? Similarly for n3, n4, last node. So last node is what, guys? N5 is the last node, right? And the previous to that is what? N4, and next of n5 is actually null, right? This is what it is. Now, sorry, sorry, 1 second. All right. So here I have actually used two, what do you say, the method, right? One is basically to print in the forward and other one is print in backward. And before that, I'm just giving a line, right? Now let me show you the code for printing forward. Simple, that what we discussed. I'm actually taking the head node in the printing forward, and then I'm just coming inside and I'm printing that value, and then after that I'm just moving to the next in the forward direction. In the backward direction also, I am actually taking the temp, tail value in the temp, and then similarly I am actually moving in the forward direction to temp.prev, right? Here in the forward we are actually using temp.next, here temp.previous, correct? So that is what it is. And now at the end I am actually trying to print it. So what it should print? It should print actually in one in forward direction and one in the backward direction. Let's try to run it. Okay, I'm just running it and I'll show you. So see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 in the forward direction, and this is 50, 40. So it is actually printing in the reverse direction. So this is the benefit of the doubly linked list, where you can also print in the reverse direction, guys, right? Hopefully this video is making sense, okay? And if you are first time on this channel, please do consider to subscribe, which will give me a lot of motivation to do other video. And if you have any question or any clarification that you want, feel free to actually raise it to me or put in the comment box, so that I can actually discuss in the next session, or I can take them and do a separate video on that, right? So any question, guys, on this topic, please let me know. All right. And I think that's all for this video. I'll see you with the next video. And until then, happy learning. God bless you. Bye.